Thanks for joining us. We are at the Combine for another episode of Labnotes. So Labnotes, I don't know if you know this, Justin, I haven't told you all about it, but it's where we have creative conversations with creative people about creativity. And yeah, there's like 6 agencies that work here, all different creative industries. And so we just want to talk to you a little bit about your whole deal and see how that intersects with creativity. So to introduce Justin, you are a skateboarder, YouTuber. Would you call yourself a historian?
I mean, that's what people are calling me. Okay. I've never referred to myself as one, but it seems to be the way it's going, yeah.
Very
historian.
Cool. Okay, that's fair. I mean, I think you are that. I could see if I was in your position, I wouldn't call myself that, but at some point it'd be like, all right, fuck, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, kind of.
So yeah, I think we want to just sort of break into your story into 3 parts. Really, it's like just your background, where you came from, that whole deal. Then look at like your life as a skateboarder, maybe how creativity intersects with skateboarding in general, your skateboarding, or how you look at other people's skateboarding.
Sure.
And then we want to talk about, jumping into YouTube. I mean, I saw you have 196 videos. Is that true? No?
Yeah, I mean, my channel's kind of old. Like, I've been making videos for like 12 years, but they've never had the attention that they have now, so.
How many videos do you have in the sort of history of spots?
I think we're up to just under 30, probably like 28, 29 or something.
That's a lot, okay.
Yeah, since the end of May, and every Saturday since then, so whatever the math adds up to every Saturday since like May 18th or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That's how many videos there'd be.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And should we give a shout out to your guy, Ryan, who's in the audience?
Yeah, Ryan Buxton,
so
right beside
Ryan
Phil there.
Makes all the videos with you?
Yeah, the videos don't happen without this guy. He's the co-host, he's partner in crime, so big shout out to him.
And then Phil, of course, is also here. Phil helped set this up. I don't know if you know this about us, but you've been to events here.
I've been to a couple events here, yeah.
So there's like a deep history for one of the 6 agencies and skateboarding, all really through Phil. I mean, at one point, our clothing line sponsored Ben Patterson.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but I know Ben.
Crazy. And then actually outside of Phil, we also, do you know Russ Milligan?
Yes.
He did some design work for us for a while. Great guy, great
Legend.
skater. But yeah, man, let's get into it, okay? So, I want to sort of get into your story. I should have been on that slide earlier. But like where'd you grow up? What was childhood like? That whole thing. I don't know anything about you. This is the first time we've met, which is great.
It is, yep. So yeah, I'm a skateboarder, as you guys probably know now. I grew up in Ajax, Ontario. I'm now 32 years old. I'll be 33 in December.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been skating for like 22 years, maybe 23 years, something like that. And I got into skateboarding through my uncle and Tony Hawk Underground on my Xbox.
OG or which number?
Literally Tony Hawk Underground. Like,
Tony Hawk Underground.
The one with the best storyline where you get to go like from nothing to pro. That was the one like, I'm in. Hell yeah.
I was a 2. I was a THPS 2 guy. That was my life.
I think I had like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 or 4 on my computer, but like my uncle mostly played it and I had no idea what the hell was going on with it, but.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so.
Were you a sports guy otherwise? Any other sports?
I enjoyed playing basketball in like elementary school, and that was like kind of just before I got into skateboarding. I was like on the grade 7 basketball team when I was a kid, but I was always really short, so that was a very short-lived basketball career for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then what about, so now you're making all sorts of videos, or you always have been. Was doing that side of creativity part of your life growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been interested in making videos ever since I started skating, and you know, you'd see the skate videos, like I'd download them off like LimeWire and stuff, and I'm like, I want to make that. So growing up with like good friends like Eric Valentic, Jordan Moss, Cole Hacker, all kind of living around the block from me.
Okay, yeah.
We
Jordan's a famous guy here too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And like we're the same age. We went to the same high school, and so we all grew up together, just filming each other skating. And yeah, ever since then, we all kind of just learned from each other on what makes a good edit and getting creative with each other and stuff like that, making full-length videos, montages, and just experimenting with skate videos. And then it just snowballed from there.
Very cool. So then pretty early, you're making these videos. Are you thinking, I'm going to be a professional skateboarder, or you like making videos was a thing, or you were just mucking around?
I mean, like, there's always the dream when you're a kid, like, yeah, I want to be a pro skateboarder when I grow up, whether that's, just, heads in the clouds with it, whatever. But yeah, that was definitely a dream, but I knew it probably wasn't going to happen as well.
Right.
Like, I guess you could say, like, exceptional at skating, but I'm not, like, on a pro level by any means. Like, people these days especially are just insane.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But
yeah.
I always wanted to, like, be somewhere in skating, contributing in any way, whether that was filming and editing or working for, like, a company or whatever. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
What about on that, like, history documenting, organizing shit? Was that ever part of your, like, growing up? Like, is that a surprise now that you're doing a version of that?
It's a surprise that, like, I started doing it because, like, it was never something that, like, years ago I was thinking of really doing. Like, I had the idea, think, like, I know so much history just from, like, contributing to it and watching people who came before me and, like, seeing the new kids, whatever, like, just skating and, doing all these tricks on different spots. You remember it, and, like, you'd read the magazines and you definitely take in what's going on, so like, what's already been done. So, like, that useless information of skateboarding is definitely, like, always in my mind, and I think in, like, a lot of skaters' minds. But I never thought I'd make videos talking about it until one day, me and Ryan just decided we were at CBC one day, and we were just like, I kind of have an idea. I want to make, like, a skateboarding history video on CBC. And we were just linking up to go skate. And then, we just filmed, like, a whole episode. And it got, like, 13,000 views or some shit. And, like, we were like, oh, people actually like this. Yeah. Didn't see that coming. I thought we'd get, like, 100 views.
Yeah, that's amazing. This was the whole third section of our talk, but we're already jumping there, so I should just explain. Like, I'm so excited to get to know you and hang out because, that video, I saw that video. And I get so excited about this because, like every other sport, there's full histories of them, just readily available.
Yep.
But there's a bunch of newer sports and newer art forms that don't have that necessarily. Skateboarding's been around, I don't know, like modern skateboarding, like 50 years?
Yeah, 50 years, I'd say.
Late 70s, I guess?
Yeah.
So just you doing this, so what Justin and Ryan do is they go to famous skateboarding spots in Toronto, and then they document every single trick that's been done on that spot by locals, by pros, by their friends, by themselves. I love when you guys throw in clips of yourself, and you're humble about it, I know, but I always like that. It's just cool watching history sort of play out in real time, and I know that there's a big degree of creativity in making the channel, making the videos, promoting it, but then also all the skateboarding that happens on it is so creative. So that's why I'm excited to chat with you.
Oh, yeah.
But let's rewind a second. Let's talk about you as a skater. So you're just some, like, little shitty kid in Ajax, bopping around.
Pretty much.
You're skating, your influence. Who are your big influences growing up? So your uncle for sure, but who else?
Like my uncle was the first one. He was kind of like one of those 1 foot in, 1 foot out skaters. Like, he'd hang out at the skate park and stuff, but it was enough for me to be like my uncle's only 6 years older than me. Like, he's more of like my older brother. We grew up together. Like, I've always lived with my grandparents, and he's my dad's younger brother by, like, a lot of years. So having him, like, growing up in the same schools, I'd just kind of do anything he did. I listened to his music. I'd wear the same clothes he'd wear, and I'd just participate in whatever he was doing. So definitely him, just seeing him skate out on the street. And then once I, like, kind of started figuring out, like, what skateboarding really was, who the pros were, I started really being influenced by, like, Rodney Mullen was, like, a first one.
Very creative.
Yeah.
Very
like,
creative guy, yeah.
Bam. I remember doing, like, art projects in school. I would, like, draw Bam Margera and, like, get marks on it, whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, then from there, like, you watch more skate videos, and then KO, It's Official came out, and I saw Wade DeZarmo, and I said, that's my guy. Favorite skateboarder still to this day. So, yeah.
Oh, that's sick. And you've obviously met him.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I'll show this. This is part of your edit, or a part that you put on
Looks
YouTube
like my
recently?
OCD part. Ryan filmed this.
I mean, that sounds amazing. What can you tell us about when you make so you're coming up, you're starting to put together videos. What do you, from a creative perspective, you're putting together a video part. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? Creatively?
Creatively, like, honestly, I'm just trying to, like, I try to get more technical with my tricks. Like, I do, like, a lot of manuals and stuff like that. I look for spots that, to me at least, have, like, an aesthetic to it that look kind of pretty on camera. Right. Minus this spot right here. That's in Pickering. That spot doesn't look good on camera. Don't watch that one. Same with this one. It's another Pickering spot. But
okay. So
Yeah,
you're
I
looking
try
at the composition of literally
Yeah.
the feature, like where you're skateboarding is very important to you. That's
For sure.
one of the
I
big
try
things.
to, at least within my like capabilities as well. Like I'm still trying to skate things that
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna die on, because I am kind of a more low impact skateboarder. Yeah, just looking for
about-
technical stuff.
What about like music and fashion? I've heard you talk about in your videos. You do comment on people's music selections, sometimes their
Yeah.
outfits.
I mean, that's a big part of just skating in general too, and like music is introduced, or skateboarding has introduced so much different varieties of music for me. So when I'm making a part for myself, like I feel like my skating can kind of go with a couple different genres. Like I'll even throw in some like disco to like my own skating and stuff. I love that shit. But for the most part, I'll try and use like some hip hop, rap, or like a cool beat. Like I've even used like Linkin Park songs to my fucking edits. But if they have like a sick beat and like the Linkin Park songs aren't like too lyrical, then I'll like even throw some of that on, like more like DJ stuff, you know?
And are you trying different things, or you like you'll put the edit against different music and
Oh,
see
yeah.
how and then see how it stacks up and go
Yeah,
from there?
yeah. I've always, so like it's when someone's filming like me, film like a part. So like if it was Eric or if it was Ryan, then they're obviously going to be in like control of editing my part, and I can like kind of look over their shoulder and kind of give them like, oh, I want that there, I want that there. But I always like to have my footage get sent to me as well, so I can at least do some like test edits and then show them the edits as well and be like, look, this is kind of like what I'm envisioning for it. This is what I like see my skating as, and then we can kind of like work on it together from there. I feel like a lot of people do that, but I try to get in with it.
You're in the weeds. All right, I like
Yeah.
that. A lot of us here get in the weeds. So
Yeah.
I respect that. Although some people hate it.
Yeah.
What about when you're like analyzing another edit from, or like a video part from a professional skater? Like, what are you looking for? Are you more interested in like literally their technical abilities, or are you interested in how they're putting together the whole video part, or
It's
everything?
like, it's a combination. So it's like, it's definitely, the part isn't a good part without a good edit, without a good song choice, and especially without good filming. Like those things are all very important to me as well, but like a lot of those are obviously out of my control.
Yep.
And it's on like the creative filmers end, but we got a lot of really good filmers out here, so I'm not too worried about it.
Okay. And if someone was going to make a skateboarding video, or make a video even that's just inspired by skateboard aesthetics or vibes, like what advice would you maybe give to them to make like a good video?
Yeah, just try, open your mind to different kinds of music. I think music is a big part of a skate video. I think it can definitely make or break, like, especially nowadays, it's kind of hard. If you go on like a Thrasher's website and you watch like a lot of these new skate parts, and the only songs that they can get the rights to aren't really like anything that great. Sometimes they got some bangers, but it can definitely hurt the skater's part if the song doesn't match them, or if it's like something that's kind of like subpar or whatever. So I say just experiment with different kinds of music. Like throw on some headphones and just start listening to different stuff. Watch a lot of different skate videos, and like start Shazamming like a bunch of different artists from those videos as well, and then start looking into like their catalogs, because that's going to help you like discover a lot more stuff. And once you have more music to your like in your little library there, I think that can help your skater look better, your whole video look better at the end of the day.
Very cool. All right, we're going to shift to let's talk about the shift actually from skater to now making videos about skateboarding, more of a content creator, YouTuber, historian, whatever you want to call it. So you guys were just hanging out and you had that idea. Since you saw that video get traction, did you stand back and be like, oh, this is a legit thing, I need to plan for it? Or have you just been sort of following your creative instincts?
So at first, when we did that CBC video, I knew I wanted to make more than just that CBC video, but we weren't like doing crazy amounts of research on the spots. It was more so just like from memory and just two guys just having fun talking about skating, which it still is. But then you see the comments come in, it's like, oh, you forgot this, you forgot that. And I'm like, fuck, you're right. Like I did forget all that shit. So maybe I should start diving in and researching this a little bit more, because I don't want to leave people out and make people feel like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, or these guys don't know what's going on with skating. It's like, no, we definitely pay attention. But those first few videos that we did, like there was CBC, Commerce, and TD, and then those ones like were a lot shorter. I was also making shorter videos too, because I didn't know if anyone would even like them.
Right.
So I was like, well, I've got to keep the attention of people within like 7 minutes, which is already kind of long. if I don't know that you're actually going to enjoy this. So 7 minutes is already a
Your
long
new
ask.
videos and your latest one's an hour.
That was the finale. I probably won't do that again because that was not fun to
My
edit.
wife, I watched it last night. My wife was so pissed.
I'm so sorry.
She's like, I could watch this for 7 minutes.
Yeah, she had every right to be pissed. That was insane.
Because the way skaters talk is, I mean, any probably sport, but it's so technical. You're just like,
Yeah.
front one, K out, fuck all
Just
this
a bunch
shit.
of
My wife-
jargon, just no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, she was dying. She was making fun of me. But I watched the whole video. Sick.
I
And
appreciate
we're gonna
that.
talk about a little bit more about it in a minute. But then, so what's their response been like from the community?
It's been really good. Like I'd say it's like 99% positive. Like
Let's talk about that 1% though.
let's talk about the 1%.
What, people shitting on you for missing them or getting mad at you?
Yeah, people definitely call me. I was like, oh, you forgot this trick. This happened in this video. And I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
you're right. And I always we always say at the end of every video, it's like, if we missed anything, like comment, like call us out. We don't claim to know every single trick that's gone down. There's also so many crews that live in Toronto or even just outside in the GTA or visitors that I'm not going to know every single thing that people have come and done.
Yeah.
But we try and get the ones that are like, have left like a strong imprint on Toronto, and that's why that one's an hour long because, there's a lot that's gone down there. But I
Yes.
feel like 20 minutes to a half an hour, like you can definitely get in a lot of what's gone down. But that 1% will definitely call us out on that. And I just thank them. I'm like, yo, thank you. I appreciate it. Like next time if we ever revisit that spot, I'll make sure I add that in.
Smart.
And then there's a lot of people who compare us to like other channels that do this as well and be like, oh, you're just copying them. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize they were holding the rights to history, but whatever.
Yeah, there's a snowboard website I follow that's now doing this. They start after you guys, but it's pretty sick. But I like the skateboarding more because I love the like rule breaking aspect of it. And you guys always talk about like bust factors.
Yeah.
And a lot of the spots, even while you're filming, you're like, are we gonna get kicked out of here?
Yep.
Any good stories from? I mean, either back when you were skating, any good bust stories, or while you're filming this series, anything good happen? I mean, the clip. I'll play a clip in a second. I mean, I can probably play it right now.
Which one's this?
The guy,
Oh,
the
yeah.
security guard, which is right down the hall here. The security guard kicking this fucking sign at you guys was so funny.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you got any good stories from getting busted, either filming this or back in the day?
Definitely back in the day, like, especially when we were skating indoor spots like this and Path and whatever, like, you'd have the yellow jacket security guards who you definitely had to be wary of because they would be pretty pissed at you. And sometimes you don't know, like, a lot of the times it would be pretty casual. Like, they would just say, hey, get the hell out of here, man. Like, you know better. But sometimes they would, like, try to fight you or grab you or throw you in, like, a back cell or whatever, like, whatever they got, like a little holding cell. That never happened to me, fortunately, but I know some friends that it did happen to. And, yeah, a lot of times, or not a lot, but sometimes you'd have to book it out of there. And we definitely had some run-ins through Path, York University. There was some pretty gnarly ones with, like, helicopters and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about for filming this series?
then-
Anything you haven't been able to film, or you've been all good? Like, you've got everything?
There was that one where we filmed the rooftop 10 stair at RBC where that one was super chill, but we weren't skating. We told the security guard at first, like, we're just talking, we're just vlogging, my go-to is like, oh, I'm just filming a school project. And then usually when you say that, they go, oh, student, cool, do your thing. And bullshitting them completely, but usually that works. But yeah, this guy came back like 10 minutes later after saying it was okay to film up on that rooftop 10. And then he's like, I just got the word that you can't even like be up here filming at all. So, yeah, we just rifled through a bunch of tricks.
That's fun. That's fun.
In the dark.
There we go.
But yeah, we just rifled through a bunch of tricks like while the security guard was standing like as far as me to you, and we're just powering through. I'm like, I'm not gonna just not make the rest of this video because you're standing there. Luckily, he was chill and kind of just accepted it. But yeah, we just kind of barged. But that's
So
what you got to
good.
do as a skateboarder. We're used to that shit.
Yeah, I love this. Like, I never knew this 7 stair got skated, and we all walk past this every day, which is crazy. But you missed one spot or one clip in this building. I don't know if you've seen this. Phil's definitely seen this. This is right here.
What?
Ben Patterson doing like right here.
Oh shit.
See, this was on YouTube. You should have
You know what?
included it in your edit.
But that's the thing, though. I
So
never
I'm part
knew.
of the 1%.
I never knew this was right here. You are part of the 1%. I never knew this was right here, but good to know. We'll come back. We'll revisit it, Ryan.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
Phil.
mean, could have made that video like an hour and 2 minutes long.
I could have. I should have. Would have pissed your wife off more.
Oh, God. Yeah. She just wanted to watch The Office.
Rightfully so. That's my favorite show.
So yeah, we got that. So then, how are you marketing this thing? Like, is that a big part of your life every day? You're thinking about how you can get more people, get more eyeballs on this.
Yeah, so like there's just we post a lot on Instagram for sure. It sucks because I would like to post more on TikTok about it, but TikTok seems to hate skateboarding. It always flags it as like dangerous content.
Okay,
And I've only
interesting.
tested it a few times with these history videos, but even when I would post like just my own clips or whatever on my own personal TikTok, it'd always get flagged, which makes it get less views, which discovery goes to shit. So I kind of just said, whatever, fuck TikTok. Unfortunately, because it's such a good place to get noticed for that kind of stuff. And I feel like this content's perfect for TikTok, but TikTok's out here hurting us. But yeah, on the YouTube end, I just make sure like the SEO in like our descriptions and in our tags is like always on point. I make sure to like, always have all the proper keywords in there.
Yeah.
Basics,
yeah.
Yeah, I link every single video we talk about in the history videos. I link every single one in the description, which also adds to the SEO as well. So like, Wade's name will come up, TJ's name. So you have all these searchable things coming up. So if someone searches up Bobby DeKaiser or Morgan Smith, like my video is going to pop up now because of that.
Gotcha.
So using that is definitely, I think it's worked to our advantage as well.
Very cool. What about scripts? Do you write scripts for these videos? Because you are saying a million pieces of information. Like you're spitting facts the whole time.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say it's like a script, but we definitely take notes. Not including those first few videos that I told you about.
Yeah.
We were just kind of rambling at that point. But ever since we started really taking it a little bit more seriously and wanted to make sure we're not forgetting stuff, we do research nights where we just, watch fucking every single skate video we can from Toronto and just scrub through the whole thing and take timestamps of every video, every skater's name, and throw them on a little notepad in our iPhones. And then we have that as like a backup, so when we're at the spot, we know exactly what went down, and then when I go home to go edit it, I know exactly how to find that clip, where it's timestamped, and.
But everything you're saying, you're not reading a script. You just have some notes. On your
Yeah,
phone?
it's just notes. Yeah, everything else is like off the top of our heads, because we love this shit.
It's
so.
deep. Yeah, I know. You go deep though, and it pulls me in for sure. What about if there's people here that have like a passion and they're thinking maybe I could do that. I mean, there's a couple people here with crazy YouTube accounts.
Yeah.
But if you're someone who's just starting new, what sort of advice, would you recommend that they do this, start their own YouTube channel based on a passion of theirs? And then if so, what sort of advice would you give them?
See, for advice, like I feel like I'm still so new that I'm like, I don't know if I can even give advice, but I definitely recommend anybody who has like a passion or a business to definitely have a YouTube channel to where you can pour some creativity into it and just get some more exposure for yourself no matter what you're doing, because you never know who's watching. I actually have like a little bit of a side business that we started with my girlfriend, and before I was doing the skate spot history videos, I was making videos about like kind of just my own life and my own business that I was starting and kind of like my journey with it. And going back to what I was saying about you never know who's watching, we actually got a client from it, like this big lighting company. They actually reached out to me because of that video. It only got like 100 views or like 200 views or whatever, but because of me just posting that, like it ended up becoming beneficial and monetary for me. So yeah, like I said, if you don't, it doesn't matter if you're getting thousands of views or not. It could be just that one person who ends up becoming a client or a connection to a client. So yeah, I definitely recommend it.
Gotcha. And then when you look back at your the first few videos for skate spots, like is there anything you hate that now you're like you want to change or you are changing?
I mean, it would be nice to like just kind of spruce up the editing a little bit more, because now I feel like after doing this many episodes, it's very almost cookie cutter. I'm like kind of copy and pasting, but just on different spots now. But at the end of the day, it's like I haven't figured out how to kind of switch that up yet without keeping like the facts in there. So
Gotcha.
Still kind of figuring it out.
I guess in that line, what's next for the channel? What do you guys have cooking up?
Yeah, so I definitely want to continue doing this. Like, I feel like we've barely scratched the surface on spots. A lot of people, the main question I get is like, what are you going to do when you run out of spots? And honestly, just go on Winter Crimes Instagram page and you'll never run out. It's a spot account that just, there's thousands of spots on there. Not all of them are historical, but there's so much that we could talk about on there. So with that said, like we got years worth of content for skate spot history, but I also want to do stuff with like, you know, we did one video with Mitch Donovan where we talked about his cover for SBC, and he did like this big kickflip over a bar to drop. And that day I was there, I was one of the filmers for that day, and he did like a bunch of other tricks that day too. So like there was a whole story in that. So I want to like kind of dive into just single tricks and single days that landed somebody a moment. Yeah. You know?
That's sick.
Yeah, so I want to do that. I want to do skate shop stuff. It'd be sick to do like even some indoor parks, whether they're here or gone. Like Shred Central would be cool to do. Talk about their history, and Dumbat even. Yeah, there's so much to do.
All right, man. Well, I'm here for all of it. Anyone have any questions before we wrap it up? Joe, I thought you had a question. These guys adjusting his glasses. John, what do you got?
I had one spot on Pickering at the post office, but I got nothing on Ajax. I mean, I feel like maybe you'd be the only one who'd care. Do you have a favorite spot, maybe in Ajax, Pickering area that you can skate? It'd be post office. The one that I said doesn't look good on film, but that spot, like, I've skated that spot a bunch. I've probably got like 20 clips on that thing, but that's my favorite spot.
Probably the second or third clip here on this one?
Yeah, it's in here somewhere. It's not too far in, but yeah, the Pickering post office.
A lot of Scarborough, right?
A lot of Scarborough, and try to get downtown as much as I can. This was like, I hadn't filmed a video part in 6 years, and so this was like, I don't know, not my happiest work, but I was stoked just to do it. That was the whole thing about it. I was like, can I still put a full part out? Yeah, this one.
Anyone else? Any other questions? Mark?
As long as you're hitting 8 minutes on YouTube, like you're doing all right. But I find like the sweet spot just for what we're doing would probably be around like the 20-minute mark. Anything longer than 25, and you start seeing a bit of like a huge dip in your analytics, like kind of losing the attention of people. That could also come straight down to just my editing style as well. Like I'm still figuring that out. But yeah, I think as long as you're hitting 8 minutes and not going past the 20, 25-minute mark, don't do an hour-long video unless you're gonna be constantly rehooking every 5 minutes. Otherwise, yeah, you're gonna lose them. People are gonna go click off and watch something else. Yeah.
Mark's obviously on the business side of our
I love it. I love that shit.
Katie, what do you got? Same question?
No, I never wore a helmet. I got a helmet for Christmas, and I would take it outside with me. Like when I'd tell my family I'm gonna go skate, but I'd never wear it because I'd be the only one in the park who would be wearing it. And I was like, that's kind of goofy. Wasn't actually beneficial because I did hit my head when I was a kid, and there was blood, and I never actually even told anyone about it, like my family, and I kind of just let myself bleed. Not a good idea. So yeah, it would be definitely beneficial to wear one when you're starting out. Kids, if you're listening, like wear a helmet when you're starting, but yeah.
There's one Canadian skateboarder who's sick who wears a helmet.
Andy Anderson. He's still rocking it. He's like 26 years old.
He's the best.
Yeah, he's actually sick. I love that guy.
But he's the like one out of every skateboarder in the world. No one else does.
He makes it work.
Yeah. Anyone else? Before we wrap it up? Yes.
I would love to go to like Barcelona or something like that and do MACBA, but at the same time, it's like, that's not our history. Like, I'm not gonna know as much as a local who's from there, so as much as I would love to do something like that, it would have to be co-hosted with somebody who's actually from there and can, you know, be more of the voice than myself. Even if we venture out to other places in Canada, like if we go to Montreal, Vancouver, which I would love to do, like those will have to be co-hosted by somebody who's actually a local in those ends. Otherwise, I feel like people are gonna see right through and be like, you're not even from here, you're just kind of bullshitting. And I definitely don't want that. So here is home, and I know here, but anywhere else, like, it'd be sick to do, but I don't know.
I'd be interested, though, to hear you at any other spot talk about Canadians who have crushed it, or Torontonians who have
That'd be definitely an interesting take for
I can
sure.
think of like Hollywood High. Ben did a crazy trick there.
Yeah,
like,
switch front blunt.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would
Good
be
question.
sick. Yeah, maybe one day when the budget's a little bit
Travel
more friendly.
budget up. Yeah. Anyone else? Wrap it up. Thanks so much for coming, Justin. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see your next video. What's the next video you got
So this whole season now we're doing, it's like a season 2. We're just doing complete indoor spots. So it's going to be all subway stations, path spots, and like York University and things like that. So I don't know what spot's going to be next, but you'll find out in a couple weeks. I got something coming up this Saturday that's not really a spot video.
Okay.
But we'll see in 2 weeks what we're actually doing.
Okay, so everyone follow Justin, check him out. YouTube, Instagram, maybe in the future TikTok when you figure out that algorithm.
Yeah, hopefully.
And thanks so much. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.